It's 7:45, KNEB, another warm afternoon, another chance of thunderstorms. Today, 68 right now. News Extra brought to you by Jolliffe Funeral Home. Here's Kevin.
Thank you, Dennis, and good morning, everyone. We're very pleased to have Lieutenant Governor Rick Sheehy here on our News Extra program today. Welcome to the program.
Good morning, Kevin. It's great to be on with you this morning.
Yeah, it is. It's great to have you. And he is in his golf garb, as I am. We're both heading out after this to go play golf.
Actually, what I'm going to be doing is surveying what's left over from the potential floodwater. So it's an official duty for me this morning.
Okay, he's going to be doing that over at Monument Shadows Golf Course. There's a lot of flooding over there. But anyway, we're going to talk about a number of things today. And I guess, first of all, you're here for Oregon Trail Days. You're going to be, here for a couple of days, right?
Yeah, I came in last night and had the opportunity to go and spend some time over at the Garion Civic Center and attend the art show. And, they had 25 artists and a great turnout. And at the auction, they had people who were really supporting the project and spent some good money, particularly on the auction.
Yeah. And then prior to getting here, you stopped at several places. Now you're kind of getting into Facebook a little bit, so people can kind of watch what you do on your Facebook page.
Yeah,
right?
Yesterday I started from my home in Hastings and traveled and stopped at Lake McConaughey and took some pictures of how high the lake is. Just a couple years ago we said it's going to be years before Lake McConaughey is full, and here we are 2 years later, and it's above pool. And but at least they're having the ability to control the outflow, so we aren't seeing any flooding down the Platte. Stopped at Chimney Rock on the way, took some pictures, posted it out. My daughter got me involved really back about Easter time. Said, Dad, you really need to be on Facebook and just show people where you're going, the great things that Nebraska has to offer. So did that yesterday and just kind of showed my travels, kind of as the pioneers did as they traveled across Nebraska.
Yeah, how old's your daughter?
She's 25 years old.
Oh, yeah? You don't look like you have You're a young-looking guy.
And a 22-year-old son.
Wow, amazing. All right. So, okay, so you're going to do all the OTD festivities. You're going to ride in the parade.
Yeah, and see, the governor is currently in Salt Lake City, Utah, at the National Governors Association. Yep. And so, one of the constitutional responsibilities is when the governor is out of state, lieutenant governor becomes governor. And so this is a great opportunity for me to participate in the Oregon Trail Days and see all the festivities and meet lots of people here in Scottsbluff, Garion area.
All right. So let's talk real quickly about the flooding issues, which have kind of died down a little bit. I know here they have, for the most part. What's the situation back east?
We're still very concerned about the Missouri River. We're still seeing about 160,000 cubic feet per second coming out of Gavin's Point. Now, to put that in perspective, that's 160,000 basketballs per second coming through the dam. So if you can think about basketballs, a lot of people have problems saying, well, how much is that? And so hopefully that puts a little bit in perspective. We continue to see sand boils. That is because of the pressure from the river water on the groundwater pushes it up on the dry side of the levee. And levees were built to hold water back for 3-4 days, maybe a week. We're going to have high water levels at this stage where we are today, probably till the first to mid part of August. And so we keep our fingers crossed that we don't lose a levee and have some significant flooding in Omaha or Plattsmouth or South Sioux City. We have 230 miles of riverbank channel that we have to watch.
Well, that's a lot. And of course you have to watch the nuclear plants, and there's been a lot of talk about that. You're feeling good about the fact they're safe?
I think they have. I think up in Fort Calhoun they have taken some very active initiatives to hold back the water. The pictures depicted a little more serious than what it really is, but recently Cooper withdrew their notice to the NRC because they have seen some reduction in the water levels around Cooper. So Cooper is back and fully operational as normal.
All right. Let's talk quickly about revenues. Good news on revenues, huh?
It is. Here in Nebraska, we are one of very few states that have seen increased revenues over the last several months. We're either at number 1 or number 2 for unemployment. So things really seem to be pretty optimistic here in the state. We have manufacturing numbers are up, of course, as you saw here, even in the Scottsbluff Garion area, we had over 100 people who stood in line for a job. So even though we have a low unemployment rate, there are still people who are looking for work, and that is a great thing. But the best thing is we're hiring people in the private sector all across the state. And that's, people also have confidence that they're spending money. And so we have money coming into the coffers of the state.
So should Washington use us as a model for what they should be doing?
You know, we go back to the old adage of we don't spend money that we don't have. And I think with the leadership of our administration and the governor this last budget and the legislature, we have a balanced budget. We still have money in our savings account, and we're providing services that people expect. And so, you know, our governor has sent a message to President Obama, and even when he's been with them at the National Governors Association, has sent that message to him. Don't spend money that you don't have and balance your budget.
All right. We'll be back more with the Lieutenant Governor right after this.
Comforting, personal.
Okay, we'll talk about this Lieutenant Governor and Governor Conference. That's cool. You guys are both heads of that.
Our team will help you carry on the legacy of your family members and friends. With over 100 years of experience,
It's kind of warm today.
professional and personal attention to every detail in the planning process. We also offer advanced planning as a continuation to our services.
We'll feel hot if it
Funeral
feels
home.
like
Our family serving your family for 3 generations.
We are back on News Extra with Lieutenant Governor Rick Sheehy this morning. And one of the things we want to talk about is that you and the governor are in positions with the National Lieutenant Governors Associations and the National Governors Associations that is totally unique, right?
It is. And as I mentioned earlier, the governor is currently in Salt Lake City, Utah at the National Governors Association. He left for there yesterday. And on Sunday, he will become the chair of the National Governors Association. So he will be the governor of governors, and which is going to provide a great opportunity for Nebraska to get some more national attention. The chair of the National Governors Association is on all the top TV programs, the national media, a lot. And so I know he's going to use that opportunity to say, hey, use Nebraska as a model, see what we've done, we're creating jobs, we balanced our budget, we're moving forward. And so it's a great opportunity not only for the governor but for the state. Now, in our meeting here in a couple of weeks when the National Lieutenant Governors meet, I will be taking over as chair of the National Lieutenant Governors Association. So that's the first time in the history of both of those organizations that we've had the chair of both entities at the same time. And I think we've never had a chair of the National Governors Association, so Governor Heineman is the first one from the state. And we may have Kim Roback or maybe Maxine Mao may have been the chair of the National Lieutenant Governors Association when they were lieutenant governors, or they were at least within the executive branch of that organization. So hopefully we'll leverage those positions really to highlight Nebraska.
Yeah, that's very good. And yeah, hopefully you guys can get a lot of things done here. Yeah?
Well, and I think, you know, we've been in our offices for a while, but we are selected by our peers of our organizations to serve in those leadership roles, and so we both feel very privileged to be able to serve our organizations.
All right. One other question before you leave. Okay, now the governor got reelected, obviously, and then he's in his last term, and you've been lieutenant governor for a while, so one would think that it would just be logical that you would run for governor. What's your future
Well,
plans?
Kevin, what I've been telling people right now is that I've truly enjoyed the opportunity and the experience of being lieutenant governor and serving in the executive branch for the state of Nebraska. And as people have asked me, they say, well, am I going to run for governor? And I tell people, yes, I will be. And actually, probably here in the next couple of weeks, I'll be filing my paperwork to start my campaign, because as lieutenant governor, at any time that I raised money previously, it had to go to the governor, because by statute the lieutenant governor can't hold campaign funds. And so here in the very near future, as I said, I'll be filing my paperwork and begin to start raising money. And this isn't an official announcement, but I am moving forward that way, but probably sometime in 2013 we'll make it official that I am running.
All right. Well, that's great. I'm glad you kind of sort of made the announcement.
Sort of made the announcement. Sort of made the announcement. There's a number of steps.
A number of steps.
Yeah. So I get a lot of support from people all across the state, and have encouraged me, and so I'll continue to move forward in that direction.
All right. Very good. Well, thanks for
all right.
stopping
Hey,
by.
Kevin, I enjoyed it. Thank
you
you for the invitation to spend some time with you this morning, and hopefully we'll have an opportunity to do it a number more times.
You bet. And good luck with your golf game today, okay?
Hey, I hope so. It needs help.
All right. All right, back to you, Dan.
Sometimes you need to cut